Hello and welcome. If you're watching this, I'm going to assume that you're interested in auditioning for my Abridged series. My name is Chowderogan Sora, or Apple Dash Wins, and I will be your guide into telling you how you can audition for My Little Pony Friendship is Seriously Hilarious. In the video description, there is or will be a link to a Ponychan thread where there is a file you can download that has all the lines and directions that you need, and in this video, I'll just be going through it with you, so if you would just follow along. And you'll also hear some examples from our Applejack voice actor, who will be pretending to audition for Princess Celestia. Now there are 4 parts to the audition. There's the disclaimer, lines from the show, lines from the script, and improvisation and ad-libbing. And there are 5 main parts that I need auditions for: Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash, Rarity, Gilda, and Princess Celestia. I'm also looking for background pony voice actors, but you can't exactly audition for those specifically, so just audition for one of those 5 parts, and I'll consider all auditions for background voice actors. Alright, let's get down to the auditions themselves. Part 1, the disclaimer. This is a staple in many Abridged series, so our episodes don't get taken down for legal reasons. If you look at your Word document, you'll see what the disclaimer actually says, and pretty much all you do is read it in whatever voice you think will make it entertaining. Here's an example from our Applejack voice actor.
The following is a non-profit, fan-based parody. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, the My Little Pony franchise, and its characters are copyrighted by Hasbro Incorporated. Please support the official release. Any and all music used was used for aesthetic, non-commercial purposes as well. Credits are in the description. The following is a non-profit, fan-based parody. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, the My Little Pony franchise, and its characters are copyrighted by Hasbro Incorporated. Please support the official release. Any and all music used was used for aesthetic, non-commercial purposes as well. Credits are in the description. Following is a non-profit, fan-based parody. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, the My Little Pony franchise, and its characters are copyrighted by Hasbro Incorporated. Please support the official release. Any and all music used was used for aesthetic, non-commercial purposes as well. Credits are in the description. The following is a non-profit, fan-based parody. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, the My Little Pony franchise, and its characters are copyrighted by Hasbro Incorporated. Please support the official release. Any and all music used was used for aesthetic, non-commercial purposes as well. Credits are in the description.
Part 2, lines from the show. This is actually chopped down into 2 parts. 1. Take the character you're auditioning for, speak either 2 different lines from the show, or at least 15 seconds worth of dialogue, whichever is longer.
I told you that you needed to make some friends. Nothing more. I saw the signs of Nightmare Moon's return, and I knew it was you who had the magic inside to defeat her, but you could not unleash it until you let true friendship into your heart. Looks like you all learned a pretty valuable lesson today. Very well. I'll forget Twilight's punishment on one condition. From this day forth, I would like you all to report to me your findings on the magic of friendship, when, and only when, you happen to discover them.
Part 2 of Part 2. Choose 2 out of the 4 snippets that I typed up in the audition paper, and speak them as best as you can. Now, you don't have to do it in the accent, or speak it in the way that the character has said it. Again, you can put your own twist on it and make it entertaining.
I chose Brayburn and the snippet with Applejack and Rarity, and I didn't know what to do with Brayburn, so I'm just gonna make him Scottish. Boggles the mind, we settler ponies built all this in just the past year, and as you can see we have all the finest comforts, like horse-drawn carriages, and out there, horse-drawn carriages. Here's the local water and all the soap block. Here's where we have our Wild West dances, and there's where we have our Mild West dances. I gotta tell y'all the terrifying tale of the prissy ghost who drove every pony crazy with her unnecessary neatness. Ooh! I'm sure y'all are familiar with that one. Never heard of it, but I have a much better one. It's the horrifying story of the messy, inconsiderate ghost who irritated every pony within 100 miles. Ooh!
Part 3, lines from the script. Here, I'm going to give you a couple sets of lines for each character, and you speak the set according to one of the 5 characters you're auditioning for. Note that some of these lines may or may not appear in the final script, because I only came up with some of them just for this audition, and, just for the sake of having lines to audition with. However, I might use them anyway, but again, may or may not happen, but that's not the point. Have an example.
As princess, I care for all creatures, big and small. Unless they try to eat my flesh, or my brains. You'd be surprised how often that happens. That's why I always keep my model 1987 handy. I'd make it standard issue for all my guards, but ponies can't hold guns.
Part 4 is ad-libbing and improvisation. Yeah, this kind of stuff is really fun, and if you do it right, it's amazing. But I know I make a big deal about it in the document itself, but in all honesty, it's not that big of a deal when you're auditioning here. But it is important for later, because there are parts in the script where your character, whether background or main, will have to ad-lib for a certain amount of time as filler, so you don't just hear silence when the main lines are speaking. And also, I can't be arsed to write specific lines for background ponies who, more likely than not, will only be speaking that one line. I might as well let the person have fun with it, after all. I mean, yeah. Alright, anyway, there are 3 prompts. Choose 2 of them, and do them in the voice of the character you're auditioning for. Make each entry at least 15 to 20 seconds, but no more than, say, 45. Also, you don't necessarily have to do it all in the first run, but try to be fluent, meaning the less breaks, or hesitations, the better. But remember, your priority is to stay on topic, and secondarily, to make it funny and entertaining.
Twilight, before I change, here's a list of instructions for when I'm human. 1. Don't let any of those confounded bronies near me. Number 2. Don't let me read clop fiction. I hate clop fiction. I don't want to wake up 3 months from now and find out that I read clop fiction. I don't want that kind of stuff in my mind. Number 3. You know what? Just keep me away from bronies altogether, the whole fandom. Just make me forget everything. Oh, Twilight. I see you have an extra ticket to that thing I like. I demand you hand it over right this instant. You can't go to that thing that I like on the moon now, can you? That's about all I can think of.
Well, that's alright, Sarita, because this is just an example after all. Alright, now that I've given you the basic directions on what you need to do, provided you with lines and examples, I'm going to go on to important points that I already listed all of these in the Word document that I gave you, except I'll just be saying the most important ones because I don't have a lot of time. Alright, first and foremost, both guys and girls are allowed to audition for any character. If you're a deep voice guy and you want to go for Rarity, go for it. I don't care about what gender you are, as long as you try. Alright, next, I would prefer that you email your lines to me, like the files themselves, in MP3 or WAV file format, to the address that I provided in the Word document. If you want, you can post a video response to this as an audition, but I don't check my YouTube account as often as I should, and I'll be making a new channel for this series anyway, so email the link to me at that same address. For auditions, you can use Vocaroo or SoundCloud, but later I'll need actual files to mix with, so just keep that in mind in case I choose you. Now, speaking of choosing people for roles, if you don't get the one you want, don't worry. Like I said, I'll be considering everyone for background voice actors or extras or secondary characters, so just don't fret and don't worry about it. If you don't want to go for a main character, then that's fine too, but you still have to audition the way I said it. But again, I'll be considering everyone for background pony actors, so just audition. Oh, one important tip, parts 1 and 2 you can voice any way you want, while for parts 3 and 4, you have to voice it in the character that you're auditioning for. Yeah, just to clear up some confusion. And most importantly, relax and have fun with this. I know I threw a lot at you for auditions, but just don't worry. This is meant to be fun, and I hope you all have fun with this, and I look forward to listening to every audition. So, have fun. Alright, Twilight, I made a list of tips to help impress that guy that you like. Yes, I know all about him, and no, I was not in your diary. For once. But I'm your personal assistant. I know you from horn to haunches. Okay, that sounded a little awkward, but anyway, Be careful with your ramblings about your relationship with the princess, because, well, that would make you sound proud and an attention whore, and no one likes that. Not even guys. Trust me. And second off, be careful with how you look at your man, because, well, if you look at his ass, that's just disrespectful. Because that's the guy's job.